Introducing the all-new, redesigned 2025 Subaru Forester. Now available at Subaru of North Miami. Standard symmetrical all-wheel drive, 8.7 inches of ground clearance, updated technology, convenient new features, and bold new styling. Elevate your journey and lease a 2025 Subaru Forester Premium today for only $349 a month for 36 months. Go to SubaruofNorthMiami.com to learn more. Vehicle may not be in stock. Expires month end. See dealer for details.
Escuchar las olas del mar puede ayudar a reducir el estrés. Inhala. 1, 2, 3. Exhala. 1, 2, 3. Sigamos solucionando. Para más soluciones de salud, visita floridablue.com. Florida Blue es una marca comercial de Blue Cross Blue Shield of Florida, Inc.
Welcome to 3 Yards Per Carry, a podcast covering the Miami Dolphins and the NFL. Now, here's your hosts, Chris, Alf, and Simon.
And we're on, and this is the preview show for Dolphins Bills, or as it's commonly as what's been common as of late, the preview of the next way that they're gonna lose to the Buffalo Bills. Kind of a big game. If if you ask anybody, you say, "Oh, come on, you got to win this game." You got to start somewhere. Of course, if you win the game, you kind of start feeling good about yourself. I think you got to play well to even salvage any self-respect. I think in this game, we're gonna get into it every which way. I have Chris Kaufman here with me. We almost had Simon, but Simon's still in transit. We will have him. We should have him on Monday when we will have results of this latest edition of Bills Dolphins. But as
He's
always,
like at the airport.
Yeah, but then he has to go pick up his kids. He has stuff to do.
Yeah, I know.
And I got a lot of, and quite honestly, I got a lot of drinking to do. It's Breeders' Cup weekend.
Oh man, that's a big one. That snuck. I was just saying it before the show. That snuck up on me.
Yeah, I love the Breeders' Cup. It's comes around once a year. It's the Super Bowl of horse racing, and I always set aside a couple of $1,000s that I'm surely going to set fire to, or it's gonna be an awesome weekend. On Monday I'm going to be all kinds of chipper, flush with cash. But as always, this show is brought to you by Thompson Cigars. You go to thompsoncigar.com and use the promo code 3yards. That's the number 3yards. You get 25% off your order of over $100, 20% off your order of $75. So use our promo code. That's the number 3yards. All right, let's get into it. When the Dolphins have the football, we're not going to get into the injuries because they're all essentially on the defensive side. No Javon Holland, no Zach Sealer. In my opinion, one of them is good news. You could guess which one it is.
It's not Zach Sealer.
No, it's not. Okay. On offense, no Julian Hill. So some of you fans are going to be very, very excited that there is no Julian Hill. My guess is that you might notice a sudden change all of a sudden on certain plays. Let's just hope that Durham Smythe is up to the job. All right. Mike McDaniel says many things, as he's wont to do. One thing that he said was that there's certain things that you can hang your hat on, and I kind of get what although the fans, they just don't want to hear it. You know what I mean? But I could kind of get where he's getting at, that a lot of the changes that he wanted to employ in the run game in the preseason, it's kind of coming to fruition here. I think that's what you can hang your hat on, is that you kind of can run the football. What's the formula against the Bills here for staying on the field? Obviously, you can't turn it over 3 times, all right, and have one of them go for pick 6. Because if you just boil it down, that game, that I thought the defense played fine against the Bills the first time around, but the offense was just a hot mess, even though that they moved the ball up and down the field. Is it as simple as just play keep away against the Bills, run the football, shorten the game, try to play it for one possession?
Well, first off, Julian Hill out, Durham Smythe is in. Do we know the exact status of River Craycraft?
Uh, he's practicing and he is now questionable, which sounds like it's a decent bet because this team is very, very, very uh strong with their designations. He's questionable to be activated off of the IR. So if you're a betting man, I would bet on he is active for
Okay.
game day.
Yeah, I think well, he was limited all week, but I just I just know it's kind of up in the air. D. Eskridge all of a sudden missed a practice but it was a personal reason. It wasn't really an issue that way. Uh, no Julian Hill, River Craycraft possibly back. I would say probably based on the circumstances, more likely he's in than he's out. Then this is going to be they're going to spread the Bills out, and they're gonna have more receivers on the field, and they're gonna run the ball that way. That includes Jonnu Smith, at tight end a lot. Durham Smythe is going to be used, of course, but I think that just overall the game plan is going to involve space and being aggressive, and it's no wonder here because they're 2-5, and they clearly need. And they're 2-5 and facing the other side, the Bills, who score points against Miami. They do, and we've got a defense that's underwater from an injury standpoint. I mean, we'll get into that later, but I don't necessarily love Javon Holland being out of this game, regardless of what you may think of him. Zach Sealer certainly being out, Cater Kohu being out is not good, especially because I think Cam Smith struggled last week. So I think that I think that not being able to trust the defense as much, particularly against this offense, against the Buffalo Bills, against this quarterback. And with Julian Hill out, that's going to be all the excuse they need. They are going to open up that passing game against the Bills. Hopefully the quarterback survives it. But yeah, I think that's what we're looking at. Playing to your strengths, getting lots of space out there, getting lots of personnel out there that can run and do things in the passing game. I think that's what we're heading for right now.
Yeah, and I was thinking of something that was said on a podcast I was on with the Bills guys at the Rock Pile Report, and they kind of completely agreed with me when I said this. Mike McDaniel is always coaching games against the Bills as if there's a number in his head that he has to get to.
Yeah.
And for sake of argument, let's just say 35. I think he coaches a lot of these games thinking to himself, I need 35 points. I don't know how I'm going to get it, but I know one way I'm going to get it, and that is I'm going to be really aggressive at midfield. I'm going to throw the football. I got to get to these 35 points. Do you agree that they're going to have to change this mindset to be competitive in this game? Because he did take the podium and he said, look, I know what you guys think, but most of our games, and he listed them, have been one-score games. So we are in these games. We just got to figure out how to win them. And then he did follow that by saying you can't be delusional about these games, which I thought was the most perfect two sentences he's ever uttered, right? Do you agree with him?
So here's what I think though. I think this is all circumstantial. You're facing a Bills offense that hung 31 on you before at home.
Mm-hmm. 24,
you're just coming off a loss. You're just coming off a loss to the Cardinals where you scored 27 and that wasn't good enough. I think, and you're playing the game without one of your best run blockers, particularly, in kind of heavier formations with Julian Hill. You've also found a little something lately, even before Tua came back, with Jonnu Smith, getting him over the middle of the field. And yes, it does come at a cost. There's people say that we're not getting enough action to, Tyreek and so on, and Jalen Waddle, but I think that they do have something with Jonnu Smith. So this is all circumstantial. I think that the game plan is going to be what it's going to be because of the circumstances. You can't trust your defense. You're missing major parts of it right now. You're going with an edge unit that I think that it's okay, but it features a rookie and it features a guy that you kind of last minute bought for $3 million in Emmanuel Ogbah. And oh, by the way, he's hurt. He tore a bicep and he's playing through it.
Yeah, and journeyman Tyus Bowser.
And journeyman Tyus Bowser, who was unemployed, before you pulled him on. Now people will say, well, what about Mokomo? Yeah, but he's a rookie. He's an undersized rookie late rounder, and let's be honest about that. So your edge units are in a little injury beset right now because Jalen Phillips is out for the rest of the year. Bradley Chubb's not back yet. And Shaq, and before the season even started, Shaq Barrett, the guy that you got to replace Andrew Van Ginkel, decided that he didn't want to play football anymore. So I think that you got to be a little bit honest about your circumstances here. And so I don't think that they're going to sit there and change the mindset offensively. I think offensively, this is a time when you've got to find out, if you can't shy away from finding out, if Tua Tagovailoa throwing the ball to Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle is going to win you tough games or not. And if it's not going to win you tough games, then I don't see how you're paying that crew over $100 million a year. Those three players. So it's just kind of a reality facing way to look at this game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's I think that what they're going to do. And they are backed against a wall here. They're 2-5. They know that they need to turn this around. So I think pulling out all the stops, being ultra aggressive, that's what we're in line for right here. And the Bills on the other side are going to just wait for you to make the mistakes associated with that win them in the game. And we'll just see if Miami actually does make those mistakes. Our immediate past would suggest yes, they will.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Now the Bills defensively, they're not without some issues, but I'm tired of looking at injury reports with the Buffalo Bills and fist pumping that this guy is out and that guy is out and the other guy is out. It doesn't seem to matter. Like they're gonna play. They're going to play their 4-2-5. They're going to play a lot of cover 2 shell. They're going to play very soft coverages, and they're going to rally and tackle. That's what they're going to do. You have to have the patience to be able to put together 10, 12 play drives, and you better run the football because they're not going to cover your center either. So the last time, I think that the Dolphins are kind of on a hot streak. I understand that they've lost 2 out of the last 3, but they're kind of on a hot streak with their offensive line play as of late. Like, they're playing okay, but you could go back to that Bills game. It was the worst this offensive line has looked in 3 years here. Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's the game. I think the game is as simple as your guys inside against their guys, and they're going to help you a little bit because they don't cover Corey Brewer. Although the biggest play of the game against the Bills the first time we played them was against Corey Brewer, when they just put a guy in the A gap. And that got in on Tua, and Tua kind of panicked, threw it out, got picked, touchdown. So I think that the game is essentially right there on the inside.
I know you're a basketball guy, Alf.
Uh-huh.
Because you keep calling him Corey Brewer.
I keep saying it, Corey Brewer. Corey Brewer, I advocated for Corey Brewer former Denver Nugget, by the way, to be
That's
a
right.
Miami Heat player in the rotation for like 6 years in a row. And it never happened. Aaron Brewer.
Aaron Brewer. That's right.
So yeah, I think, man, and I'm not one of these guys that like to say it's up to these guys. No, because it could be up to Tua. Tua plays look, if Tua plays the best game of his life, I think the Dolphins win. But you can't count on things like that. But I think if the interior of the offensive line of the Miami Dolphins plays well in this game, they're in that game and they have a shot to win. You agree with me?
Well, so again, I hate to sound like a broken record, but the way I see this playing out right now is their backs against the wall. They're 2-5, and they have the way the circumstances have played out. You cannot complain too much when you still have Tua Tagovailoa, ye of $50 million a year, throwing to Tyreek Hill, who's making what, 30 million a year, something like that.
Yep, 30.
Um, and Jalen Waddle, who's making bank of his own after being given a fresh contract. And oh, by the way, you also still have Devon Achane. You have Jalen Wright just begging for action. You
Yes.
have Raheem Mostert still there.
And
I
Odell
think,
Beckham allegedly exists.
and we were just, and I am knocking the hell out of my desk, which is made of wood right now. But Teron Armstead has played all year
which
and has
which has
been great. Has
yes,
been
yes,
so knock on wood there. But Aaron Brewer is an unqualified success as a center
yes.
signing. He's been better than Connor Williams was before him, which is saying a lot because Connor Williams was quite good with just a few warts. And so you've got that. You've got Teron Armstead has been playing and he's been healthy. You've got Austin Jackson has not. You've not seen recidivism from him in terms of like going back to being the challenged player that he was at the beginning of his career. So go out there. You got to go out there and just outplay them. You've got to do that. So, I mean, it's like, well, the first offensive game, the offensive line got a little bit bullied around by, well, then the coach is going to look at those players and say, don't get bullied around this time.
Yeah.
Like the coach is going to look at these players and say, are you good or not? Tell me who you are right now. And that's kind of the moment that the moment that they're in. And so, yeah, I think that's the way it's going to play out. And you can say, well, yeah, that's begging for disaster. And maybe it is, but they're going to go down swinging in that way, in my opinion. Now, it doesn't mean they're not going to run the ball at all, right? Of course they're going to run the ball. I just think that overall the game plan, the tenor of it is not going to be tepid. It's not going to be toe in the water. Let's see if this works. Let's see if that works. Let's lean on the screens and the run game and the run game and the run game substitute plays, and so on and so forth. I don't know that I see that at this moment because I think the moment is important. So we'll see. I could be completely wrong, but the last couple of games have gone pretty much exactly how I would have thought, based on the moment. So we'll see.
Yeah, I think we can all agree the time has come. And Mike McDaniel had another great quote when he said, when you finger point, use your thumbs.
Yeah.
Which is, it's another, he was full of great quotes this week. Like, I don't know, he must have picked up like a book of quotations or something. And he said, I'm using this one, and that one at pressers this week.
Well, I think he's so frustrated that he is getting a little tired of his own shtick.
Yeah.
Which has been anyway, just constantly inflating this team to the press.
Yes. Today he took the last question and then he stared when nobody else had another question. He stared and he goes, I finally wore you guys down.
Yeah. I mean, he is a guy that just he cannot help himself but inflate the team whenever he's talking to the press. And I've gotten the sense lately in some of these games that is wearing on him too, and he wants these players to finally show up too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like everybody is just like, oh, was this the best? Talking about, was this the best game plan? Was it you didn't come up with something creative enough? And I think that at some point he's probably getting a little tired of it and being like, okay, a game captain, or not a game cap, a team captain fumbles the ball in the goal line, and that's my fault. Like or things like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Going back a couple of weeks ago to when Alec Ingold, fumbled the ball on that fullback give on 1st and 10, which was a bad call, a play call, but regardless, it was a fumble because Alec Ingold fumbled it.
Yeah, but a bad play call should be -2, not
Yeah.
a fumble and you lose the game.
Right, exactly. So I think that he's getting a little bit fed up. He's getting a little bit like, you know what, Tyreek Hill, you got something to say? Don't lose that ball in the sun. Or well, it wasn't the sun because it was indoors in the Colts dome. But I mean, like, he lost it in the lights, right? You want to complain, you want to talk about, you want to get more stuff, then don't drop that really easy ass pass, Jalen Waddle. Step up and actually perform. And I think that's kind of where we're getting to. And so I think that maybe this team got a little bit actually too full of themselves, full of the idea that they're going to scheme everybody, and they're gonna come up with all these tricks and stuff like that other people don't. What's wild that we're going to unleash on them this year that nobody's going to have an answer for, or they're going to be scrambling to try and find an answer for, and stuff like that. I think maybe that's wearing a little thin, and everybody's like, no, actually, we got really talented people, and we just need to step up and play better.
Yeah, the Shanahan tree has not had a good year. Last night,
no, it's not.
Last night, C.J. Stroud continued his sophomore slump of a year. Although they're winning games, but they looked absolutely awful last night. All right, we're gonna go to break, but before, let me tell you about Underdog. Underdog is the place to play if you're a sports fan looking to win money while watching sports. With over 5 million happy players and $2 billion won, Underdog makes it fun and easy to cash in on all your favorite athletes' performances. Compete against other players just by selecting higher or lower on 2 or more player stats, and you could win up to 1,000 times your money. So turn every touchdown into a win with Underdog. I had some Joe Mixon things going last night. Actually helped me. Not that I won too much last night, but I did have Joe Mixon. Use Vulture Protection. Vulture Protection, if you select a designated running back to score a touchdown in your pick'em entry and they get vultured, we all know what that's like, we will rescue your entry. Red Zone Rush, a game you won't find anywhere else. Just pick whether or not a player will score a TD by swiping right for yes, left for no. Simple as that. Plus, your entry will be automatically boosted and you'll get a 51% profit boost when you play. Join over 5 million fans that are already playing on Underdog. With their Champs game, you could win money by making entries with your favorite players. Download the Underdog app today and use the promo code 3YARDS. That's the promo code 3YARDS, the number 3YARDS, to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. Higher or lower, you make the call on Underdog. Must be 18 plus, 21 plus in Massachusetts and Arizona, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 19 plus in Alabama, New England, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Void in Colorado. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP, 1-800-639-8783, or text NEXT-STEP to 53342. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY to 467-369. And now for our other sponsors. Thompson Cigar has been America's humidor since 1915, offering the widest array of cigars and cigar accessories at the lowest prices. Known for our innovative ways to save, including exclusive 5-pack deals and many club options, Thompson Cigar is the trusted choice for cigar lovers seeking quality and value. Check out ThompsonCigar.com for incredible deals and become part of the Thompson Loyal. That's THOMPSON cigar.com. You know me. I enjoy a good stick with my football on a Sunday, on a Monday, on a Thursday, and Thompson Cigars is where I do my shopping online. Whether it's a smooth Connecticut in the morning or a Maduro at night, Thompson Cigars has it all. Thompson Cigar has been serving cigar enthusiasts since 1915, making it the oldest mail-order cigar company in the U.S. Get 15% off orders of $50 or more, or 20% off orders of $75 or more. Visit ThompsonCigar.com today and explore their incredible selection of cigars and unbeatable deals. Enjoy up to 20% off orders of your order of $75 or more. That's ThompsonCigar.com and use the promo code 3YARDS, that's the number 3YARDS, at checkout. Discover why Thompson has been America's humidor since 1915 and join the thousands of satisfied customers who trust Thompson Cigars for their quality, value, and exceptional service. ThompsonCigar.com.
Let's find the healthiest you in 30 seconds with health solutions from Florida Blue for your physical health and mental health, so a broken leg doesn't keep you down or get you down. Let's solve problems before they're even problems with health screenings at your local Florida Blue Center. You'll also find nutrition classes to help you eat better. Then we'll come to you with food drives, so whole communities eat better. Now let's find more than 30 seconds and really see what health solutions can do for you. Let's keep solving. Florida Blue, your health solutions partner. Florida Blue is a trading of Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Florida, Inc.
We've seen the impact we make when we stand together. So let's stand with candidates who represent us in Washington, D.C. Sherrod Brown always stands up for the well-being of our community, capping the price of insulin and cracking down on predatory landlords jacking up rents in black neighborhoods. Black power is in our votes. Let's use it today. Vote now to re-elect Senator Sherrod Brown.
Paid for by Ask Me People, askmepeople.org, which is responsible for the content of this act, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.
Are you a South Florida property owner with an insurance claim? Are you dealing with water, mold, or fire damage to your home or business? Are you having trouble locating a 5-star rated general contractor that is fully licensed, certified, and insured? If the answer is yes, then Water Cleanup of Florida is here for you 24 hours a day. With over 60 years of combined experience, Michael, Robert, Jorge, and their team is prepared to handle any size property damage disaster. When an unexpected damage occurs to your home or business, you need specialized, fast, and reliable services. Water Cleanup of Florida understands the impact and stress an unexpected disaster may cause. Their objective is to make the cleanup and insurance claim process painless and hassle-free. Water Cleanup of Florida is also a licensed general contractor, so they provide the A to Z service, one-stop shopping that busy homeowners and business owners require. Water Cleanup of Florida is now an authorized dealer of Eurocraft cabinets, so premier kitchen, bath, and laundry cabinetry, countertops, and other accessories are available for your viewing at their showroom in Boca Raton. Or, do you prefer to shop from your home or office? Then Water Cleanup will send you one of our design specialists to you with samples and products that fit your style and budget. Call Michael anytime on his personal cell phone if you have any questions at 954-579-0356. That's 954-579-0356. Or visit the website at wcufl.com. You can follow them on Facebook and Instagram. And please check out their more than 80 5-star reviews on Google and Facebook. Water Cleanup of Florida. If you have the schmutz, they have the guts.
I'm Jalen Phillips, and you're listening to 3 Yards Per Carry.
And we're back. All right. Don't look now, but Josh Allen has had 2 pedestrian games in a row against the Miami Dolphins. They won both. Okay. So I don't know what that says. I don't think it says anything good. You agree with that, right?
Oh, you mean anything good on our behalf? Like,
yeah, Josh Allen is out there farting around for 2 consecutive games against us. He throws for 132 yards in one of them. He has 4 turnovers in the other one.
Yeah,
wins both. Okay. I don't think it's about him anymore in our little rivalry here. I think it's that team. They run the football. They don't make mistakes. They play really sound defense. They tackle well. But on offense, man, it has to start with those tight ends. I understand that they added Amari Cooper, but you can't cover everybody. Not that I'm going to cut loose Amari Cooper, but man, the numbers are the numbers are the numbers. And
Mhm.
traditionally, Josh Allen absolutely destroys man coverage. They just added a guy who is probably the best wide receiver in short space as far as a route runner in the entire NFL in Amari Cooper. Although he's nursing an injury, but he might play. Man, it's as simple as just face Josh Allen, play zone because it's come on, we have 6 years of evidence now. He's mediocre against zone coverage. The teams that have had the best success against him, namely the Jets, play zone coverage against him. Yeah, you're gonna have to be out there with a light box, and you're gonna have to tackle well in the run game. But we knew that going in. Look, if you're in man coverage, they can get boat raced. I'm still wary of Josh Allen, but you agree with me. He's not the guy you're looking at anymore. It's that running game, it's those tight ends, it's their philosophy that they adopted with about 7 games to go last season and into this season of essentially a power ball control offense. Do you agree?
I don't, at this point, I don't think nothing has worked against the Bills offense. Nothing has worked against Josh Allen. He can play a game like he did earlier where he doesn't even have to do that much and they still score 31. It's there's really been not much that's worked against him. I would not look at it even at this point so much as about the Buffalo Bills and what you think is going to work against them. Although I do tend to agree with you on some of the points that you raised about zone coverage, and being careful about the way that you blitz Josh Allen, obviously, because he is good. He is good enough to come up with all the answers against blitzes, and special enough in the way that he moves and the way that his athleticism to do those things, to buy. It's not even necessarily that huge play that you're talking about. It's just the way that he can buy a little bit of time to get something, to get to that blitz beater that he wants. No, I think at this point, this is about what the Miami Dolphins think that they can reliably accomplish on defense, because they are down a lot of talent. They don't have Javon Holland. And I'm not celebrating that because Marcus May played like trash against the Arizona Cardinals last week. So this is about what you can do and the stars that you have. Is Cam Smith going to be out there? Is he actually going to play well, or is he going to get boat raced by Marvin Harrison like he did by Marvin Harrison Jr., who ran basically the same route against him 5 times and got open on every single time, whether the ball was coming or not. So this is going to be about what the Miami Dolphins are currently in position to do on defense. And I think that they found something with Jalen Ramsey on the inside with Kader Kohou out, and being able to play the quarterback some, and affect the game, or affect the quarterback a little bit directly. And so I think that they're going to continue with that. I think that, at some point, this is going to be a tough game for him to do it, but Chop Robinson has to continue to get pressure, and which he has, to be fair, but he's got to do it, and they've got to actually get Josh Allen down. But getting Josh Allen down kind of requires team effort, not just one guy. And that's kind of the fallacy with him, is thinking that one guy's going to take him down, but it's usually a team effort. So they're just going to have to they're going to have to rely on what they think that they can do right now without Javon Holland, without Zach Sealer, without Kader Kohou, and without Jalen Phillips, and Bradley Chubb not back yet, and so on and so forth. So that's going to have to be it. I don't think that there's any magic. I don't think there's ever been any magic formula for stopping the Buffalo Bills offense. And so it's just an effort on your part, putting yourself in position with the tools that you have remaining to use them the most efficiently that you can and hope for the best.
Yeah. The teams, and it's kind of random sometimes, right? Like there's been teams that have blitzed the hell out of Josh Allen. Namely the Chiefs. Kansas City Chiefs last year in the playoffs decided, you know what? We're doing something that we haven't done before. Usually they play very, very soft coverages against the Bills. They said, no, we're going after Josh Allen in this game. And paid some dividends. The Bills were essentially very, very, very quiet for a good portion of that game, allowed the Chiefs to do what the Chiefs always do, which is look like shit, and then at the end of the game, they have more points than you. You
Yeah,
know?
somehow that works out for them.
Yeah, somehow it always works out for them. Uh, you know,
I mean, but caution, okay?
yeah,
Blitz, Josh Allen, you know, he is. I'll just tell you what he is against the blitz this year.
should be
Uh,
insane.
48 of 76, so 63% for 652 yards, which is 8.6 yards per attempt, 8 touchdowns and 0 interceptions.
Nice.
Nice,
Is that
right?
good?
Is that good? 126 passer rating against the blitz. Is that good? I don't know. And by the way, he's also scrambled for first downs, and he has taken 4 sacks on the 89 blitzes, but it's not enough.
I think he takes those on purpose. He just,
Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes it's situationally it's an all right thing to do.
yeah.
Situationally it's an all right thing to take that sack and not do something stupid with the ball. But yeah, so very much be careful in what you do against a guy who has 126 passer rating against a blitz and a 98 passer rating when not blitzed. So yeah, this is and I thought the Dolphins did that too much last week against Kyler Murray. And I think it kind of burned them a little bit in the second half. So we'll see.
Yeah, I think Anthony Weaver has Anthony Weaver I think has done a good job this year, but he has shown a propensity to be a little impatient with the pass rush. Like
Mm-hmm.
you could almost tell he gets a little nervous, like, hey, it's been 3 plays, and I don't see anybody in the backfield. Let me scheme up a free rusher here.
Yeah.
And you saw those numbers against Kyler Murray, man. It was awful. Six free rushers, 6
Mm-hmm.
pressures, no sacks. If
Yeah.
you're gonna get a free rusher, man, get the guy down.
Yeah.
And
It's tough
because if
when he's
you
slippery as he is.
yeah, and because when you don't get the guy down, and I try to explain this to people, you're playing with one less man. Of
Yep.
course, the quarterback doesn't matter because the quarterback is the one orchestrating everything. But when you blitz and you don't get him down with that one free rusher, that one free rusher is canceled out. And now you're playing basically 10 on 11 because the quarterback is playing by himself.
Mm-hmm.
Because usually when you miss with a free rusher, there is no more pressure coming because everybody else is occupied to allow that free rusher.
Well, you
know?
have to be very directional about which way you're trying to get the quarterback to spin out of that pressure. Which and it's are you trying to make sure that he doesn't run up the middle for yardage, or are you trying to get him to scramble out to his right? Or are you trying to get him to scramble out to his left? Because yeah, you're playing down a defender, but also if he's scrambling out left or scrambling out right, you're cutting off half the field now. So I think that that's the game, is to be very intentional, not only in how you're planning but how you're executing, and the way that you want. There are going to be ways that you want Josh Allen to scramble, and because you have an answer for it,
Mm-hmm.
and so they have to be pretty intentional about that, and they have to make sure they're actually executing that what they drawn up. And I think that's been probably part of the problem. And without a Zach Sealer there, and over relying on guys like Emmanuel Ogba, who's not necessarily always been he plays well sometimes, he plays not so well other times, and he's got a torn bicep right now. And then a rookie in Chop Robinson. And I'm not trying to feed into the people out there as like, oh, Chop Robinson, what a bust, and blah blah blah, just another Chris Greer pick and stuff like that. I'm not trying to feed into that, but he is a rookie. And so you are finding that having the instincts to know whether to go on the outside shoulder this time or whether to hit the inside this time, or or when he does have to stay disciplined, staying on the ground, because sometimes he gets into that bull rush situation and for whatever reason his cleats have been given out all year. So it's rookie stuff, and it's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough game. I think that to some degree you're going to have to hope that that Josh Allen just wakes up and doesn't have a great day.
Yeah, and that's happened before.
It has.
All right.
It has. He's not always Superman against the Dolphins. Like most of the time he is. It's weird.
Yeah. I mentioned it. The last two games, rather pedestrian. He was actually bad. The last game of the season last year for the division title, he was actually bad. As Tua didn't play great, but guess what? I thought Tua kind of played a little bit better than Josh Allen, because you have 4 turnovers. That's not good, right?
Yeah, right.
All right. Prediction time. Everybody, people are predicting. We've seen the lines go up and down all week for whatever reason. Don't ask me why. There's a lot of money coming in on Miami today, and the line has moved from 6.5 to 5.5. Don't ask me why, but evidently some whale somewhere went crazy, or some crypto bro has way too much money and decided to just put way too much money on Miami. He's like, you know what? I'm taking a shot here with the Dolphins. Everybody's zigging, I'm zagging, right?
Yep. And nobody's got free liquidity to just throw around in the most unserious of ways than those crypto bros on those crypto-based betting sites too. So
yeah. So everybody's piling on Miami today. I don't know why. I'm going to be another one that's going to pile on to Miami. Not that I'm going to pick them to win. I think they're going to play well. And I require that they play well. If they don't play well, you got to start examining everything. So I say Miami makes it a game. It's fun. And the Bills kick a walk-off field goal again. And they win 33-30. What say you, Chris?
I say that this is the last stand of this build of the Miami Dolphins offense. That this is the final put up or shut up moment for the Miami Dolphins offense that is built to have Tua Tagovailoa, $50 million plus quarterback, throwing to $60 million a year worth of wide receivers. With Teron Armstead at the left tackle, Austin Jackson at the right tackle, and with Devon Achane and all that. They either do this thing or some floorboards are getting ripped up. And so they're gonna. I look for them to play that sort of game, because often when a team is up against it, I'm not saying that they'll pull out the season, but often when a team is up against it this way, they can do some good things. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Dolphins win 28-25, but that's not going to be my prediction. I'm going to say that really the Dolphins do have a kind of a cursed look to them this year. And we've talked about it. And there's too many mistakes. I don't know if you could just shut it off like a light switch. I don't. They've tried and it's not working. And so I think that ultimately, here we go again. Bills are scoring 30 on us again. And it's 30-24.
All right, that's it. We will talk to you on Monday.
Thanks for listening to 3 Yards Per Carry. You can subscribe via iTunes, on Podbean, or your usual podcast provider.
Does your AI model really know code? Its specific syntax, its structure, its logic? IBM's Granite code models do. They're purpose-built for code and trained on 116 different programming languages, to help you generate, translate, and explain code quickly. Because the more your AI model knows about code, the more it can help you do. Get started now at ibm.com/granite. IBM. Let's create.
Bro, I forgot how good Mariquita's classic original plantain chips are.
Yeah, you gotta try the lime ones.
You're gonna have to pause the game for these.
Oh, wow. So good and crunchy. Just seeing that yellow and green bag makes me crave them.
Told ya.
Mariquita's classic plantain chips, authentically delicious. Available now at Publix and Walmart. Mariquita's classic plantain chips, fresh from South Florida.
Don't eat them all, bro.